string manipulation methods. We learned about some string manipulation methods. So in the string manipulation methods, so we have discussed about starts with, ends with, char at, another char code at, and we have index of, we have last index of, we have substring, slice, substr, and ends with, starts with. So we have trim, right? These are the functions we learned. So last one we discussed about trim method. So this is the trim method we learned. Okay, right. So next in the string functions, so we have another important is split. Another one is a split function. Actually, split function is used for it splits the string at specified delimiter. Delimiter means separator. It splits the string at specified delimiter. Generally, when you are working with string, generally lot of data is given as string. For example, sometimes what happens is we are having some contact details or something. I will add here string demo3 for HTML. Okay. And see here, suppose we are defining some simple script and we are writing in the script. So where contacts is a string and this is the contact name and the contact address. Similarly, we have another contact and some contact details like this we are having. Now what we want is we want these two details to separate, but both belongs to one string. How we can separate a string? We can separate the string by using split. That means we want to separate this string by using split. We can separate at comma. We can make it 2. Then this will be stored under 0 reference. This will be 1. And what is the name? Contacts is the name. That means in contacts 0, this value is present. Contacts 1, this value. Actually, what is the purpose of split is? So it splits the string at specified delimiter, and very important, it returns an array. It returns an array. Array is nothing but it is a collection of array. It is an array of strings. Array of strings. So syntactically, we have suppose where values is equal to some a comma b comma c, like this we have, and we use value dot split. Values, I will use values dot split. Split at which character? Comma. I'm giving split at comma. Split at comma means it divides them at comma. Now after that, actually this will return array. This is an array. Array means, so this is having three values at 0, A, at 1, B, at 2, C. How to collect them? Then what we have to do? This result we need to store in one variable. In that variable 0, we have A, at 1 we have B, like that. But in latest JavaScript, they introduced a technique called destructuring. In the latest JavaScript, we can use destructuring in variables I explained. While learning variables, I told you variable destructuring. Remember the variable destructuring means multiple values we can keep in one reference. The destructuring, that is nothing but what you can do is these values, you can declare two variables. One is John, another David. Into that, you can assign contacts. So contacts dot split. Split at which character? The character we have to write in single quote. The character is comma. That means now what happens? The string is divided at comma, and the first value will be stored in this reference. Second value will be stored in this reference. That means split is a function which splits the string at specified character and returns array. That array we can access and use. Actually, earlier how people do is, even today, if people don't know the destructuring technique, even today people do like this, where result is equal to contacts dot split at comma. After that, document dot write. What is it? Result of 0. Result of 0 will print the John details. After that, we have in the next line, suppose result of 1. So that is how it is going to print the details. You can see it is going to print the details like this. So this is going to print the details. It will separate them. But these days we don't follow this method. We don't need index numbers and all. We just refer like this. Now we want to print John detail, document dot write John. And it is going to display the detail. In the next line, we want to print David detail. So then we will just use David. Just the reference, and it will get that and it will display. So we can separate the string at any specified separator. We call it as delimiter. That you can do by using this technique. This is an example for what? Right. So trim is used for removing the blank spaces, unnecessary spaces, and the split is used for splitting the string at specified separator. That's what actually split can do. This is one simple point about how we can manage. The basic of string functions. In string functions, another important is we have a match. Match is nothing but it is used to verify your value. Verify your value with a regular expression, and return Boolean true. If the expression, if the value expression, if the value is matching expression, that's what actually match. So match is used for verifying the value and return true if the value is matching with the expression. So generally, match is the word. Usually how the match word works is by comparing your value with expression. How to write expressions we already learned. Generally, while working with our number types, we learned in pattern, in HTML pattern, we learned how to write a expression. So by using that, we can define. Suppose you see writing the expression is, how do we write regular expression? We have meta characters, we have quantifiers combination. In forms concept, I already explained. In JavaScript, we have a syntactically, suppose we have a mobile. It is a value. Value is some, so 98765432110. That is mobile. And we have a regular expression. We need to write a regular expression. Generally, when regular expressions are written in JavaScript, they are defined in double slash. In HTML, they are written in double quotes because we write as pattern. Here it returns in double slash. In double slash, we have to write what is the regular expression is, suppose slash plus 91 slash D and 10. You know the meaning of this. We already learned regular expression. This indicates it should start with plus 91 and it can contain 10-digit number. So how to verify? We have to use a condition. If mobile dot match with whom? Regular expression. If it is matching with regular expression, then this will return true. If it is matching, this will return true or false. Currently, is that matching regular expression? Value is not matching regular expression, then it will return false. So if it returns true, then what action? False, what action? We can define. That is how we can verify using regular expression. So match is used to validate and verify using regular expression. Already we have pattern, then why to use this? Already we have pattern. In a text box, we can write pattern and we can verify. Then why to write with JavaScript? So because when you are dealing with patterns, patterns are static. Static means once you define a pattern, it will always use the same pattern. And you saw that patterns, if they are not matching, what they are returning? If they are not matching, they are returning a message saying that please match the requested format. For every problem, they will show the same message. Then what is the requested format? That is not clear. So we need our own validations and our own messages. Because whatever the message they provide, that is not clear. That's not sufficient. Then we can go with this technique, right? And not only that, what is advantage is regular expression can change dynamic. For example, see how we can do that. Let's create a page. So match demo, style sheet, ref, node modules, bootstrap I will use here, dist, CS and bootstrap.cs. Okay, so here we have class container fluid. So here we will put a simple heading, verify your mobile, and data list and the data term. So here select tree, and here we have a drop down. So option, choose, and option, and here we have India, option US, and option UK. Now is mobile number, and data definition input type is equal to text. Here class as form control, and this have an ID txt mobile, and class as form select, ID as lst country. Okay, and here we are defining this data list. So this is having class width as 25. So this is a simple option here. This is what we defined. So width 50. Okay. So this is the option. Now user can select a country, and user can enter the mobile number. And important is after that, we have a button. So this is submit. So class as BTN and BTN sum primary. And when user submits this button, I need to verify whether the mobile is according to the selected country format or not. That means what should be the pattern in this mobile? It should be India, it should be US, it should be UK. But it should change according to selection. If user selects India, then India pattern should work. That is important. So we want the pattern not to be standard. The pattern must able to change according to what the country they are selecting. So for that, I will use here. So we have span, just put here. This is a span. So IMG, and this is ID as flag. Okay, class as input group, and this is the class as input group text. We are defining that input group and input group text. Now what should happen when user selects a country? The country flag should come here, and that country related mobile number should verify here, right? I can add this even for the text box or here, anywhere fine. So then what we will do is this flag one, yeah, I am defining the same span. So class input group text, and is ID as flag 2. And here also we will put input group. So we have those two options there. Now, usually when user selects the country, we want to submit, define. So we will copy some pictures here. So in the Explorer, this is Flipkart public images. In my computer, I have these are all same images, huh? Just yeah. In the images, we will select the images here. This is India, US, UK. Small JPGs will be there. We saw not flagged here. Actually, it is a different one. This is Amazon. This is Amazon. Yeah. Images. Yeah. Here we have. Yeah. India, US, UK. I will copy those. Let's paste that in our Flipkart folder. These are JPG files. Huh? India, US, UK, JPG files are there. Fine. Now what we need to do is we need some logic. Very important is country and flag 1, flag 2. Another one is we have they're changing. So we will write a simple script. In this script, type text JavaScript, and here we will define a function called set validation. Set validation is that option. Now set validation contains, first one is we have to collect the pattern. We need to define the image 1 and image 2. Two pictures are there, flag 1 and flag 2. And we want some placeholder or something, right? So what I will do here is set validation. Here first we will take a pattern. That is the pattern we will select. After that, next. That means whenever you call set validation, you need to pass a pattern. Next, flag 1 and flag 2. So the flag 1, flag 2, two options are there. Or flag is only one. One is enough because the same one we apply for both, right? Okay. Some tip is to tell what is valid, right? And I will tell regular expression. That means whenever you call set validation, is should be applied. Okay. Now globally above we will declare where one is pattern is just keep that as beginning. So regular expression. Okay. First where we have a regular expression, empty regular expression. That is an empty regular expression. Regular expression is not standard. Then flag 1. So where? So flag 1. Flag 1 is also empty string. There is no another where tip. So empty string. So these are the three global variables. Global variables we can access from any place. Now in the validation, first we have to collect this regular expression. That means now, so regular expression is equal to regular expression. Regular expression means this one, where the flag must be applied. That means what we are doing, this is the global variable. In that variable, it is assigning what you entered. What is the regular expression you entered? Or you can make it simple. You can make it pattern. And here we can set the pattern. We can set the pattern. Okay, this is the pattern we are defining. What is next is document dot get element by ID flag1 dot src is equal to flag1, or just it is a flag. Okay, because for them same flag. Document get flag2 dot is mobile dot placeholder. We have placeholder we will keep tip. That's how we are defining. That is the flag. You see now what we do. We are writing another function called country changed. When this country changed will fire up when they are changing the country in drop down. So drop down have on change. On change means when value is changing. That means on change indicates when you are changing the value. Here we need to know which country they selected. That means here we will get country name. Document dot get element by ID lst country dot value. That means drop down value. If country name is equal to India, then what should happen? To that, first you need to pass the pattern. What is the pattern? Pattern, how do we pass in double slash? In double slash plus 91 slash D 10 digit number. Okay, comma. Second value, flag. Flag is dot slash public slash images slash India.jpg, comma, after the tip. Tip is so India code. So plus 91 and 10 digits. That's what we are typing. Now important is where this validation is stored in regular expression. Where the flag is applied, this second one, flag is applied in this here and here. Where the tip is applied, tip is the last value. Tip means this is the last value. This is stored in tip. This is tip is applied as what? Placeholder. Okay, same we have to follow for others. So we need to write else if. Second condition, if a country name is equal to US, then what should happen? Set validation. We know how to write validation. We learned, what is it? Parenthesis 1, right? That means slash plus slash open parenthesis, right? And 1 slash close parenthesis, and after that slash again parenthesis slash D, how many? 3 slash parenthesis open, right? After that slash yes slash D, how many? Some 4 digits slash D again, how much? 4. Like this we define. Your wish, you can see the pattern and you can write accordingly. We already know the pattern, that's we are writing. Okay. And what is the image? Dot slash public images us.jpg. What is the tip? So US mobile. So US mobile will be so plus 1 and in the parenthesis 3-digit number and space some 4-digit number and again 4-digit number, right? So that then in that case here we have to write /yes, 4 digits, /yes, 4 digits. This is the validation for US. Similarly, else if what it is? Country name. Country name is equal to UK. Then set validation. So pattern is /plus / parenthesis 44 / parenthesis close / parenthesis /d here also 3 / parenthesis close. After that /yes, suppose /d and 4 /d and 4. Like this we define. Suppose I am giving some hyphen 4. Like that we are defining. Now let's put the image. So it is in public images. This is uk.jpg and tip UK mobile and +44 and we have a 3-digit number and a 4-digit number hyphen again a 4-digit number. Like this we are defining. Okay, these are enough. If user is not selecting anything, so that means else, then set validation. In the set validation, pattern must be empty. Pattern must be empty. Image must be empty. SRC is empty. Next, placeholder tip we will say, please select your country. That message we will display. This is what we want to do. Now let's run this and see here. I select here a country and it should display that. Image width and height we haven't mentioned for that. This image we will keep as for this image we'll keep as width so 50 and height 30. And you see width 50, height 30. And let me copy the same for the second one also. Okay, so you select the country, it will display there. I am selecting the country, it is displaying that. And you see the tip also changes here. I am selecting the UK, then it is different. I am not selecting any country, then it is empty and say, please select your country. And we are selecting a country, that country related tip also will come. We are changing the tip according to the selection. Now, when I click on submit, it should verify that. And it should display saying that it is valid or it is wrong, right? So we have to write logic for this submit button. So on click is what? Submit click. On submit click, we need to verify that. So let's write a function here. So we are writing a script. Function is submit click. On submit click, what? We need to get the mobile entered in document get element by ID txt mobile dot what value. And we have to verify if mobile is matching with the regular expression, Regular expression is already a global variable. Into that regular expression, we are applying the pattern. If it is matching with regular expression, then it should display one message. Means we will say document dot write. So here we keep a heading. So mobile registered successfully. That message we will give for the heading. Otherwise, if it is not matching with regular expression, document dot pre-selected, we will access a paragraph. In that inner HTML, we will display. So invalid mobile. We will display invalid mobile and we will put the format. So we will put the format coming from tip. So tippa, actually the format is coming from tip. Whatever is coming from tip. So this is invalid mobile format. Mobile format. Okay. That's what we need to do on submit. Let's keep that under this button in a paragraph, align as center. We will display that message. Now see, when user clicks, when user selects the country, and when user is typing some wrong, 98765432110, and I click on submit, then it says invalid mobile format. Tip is not displayed. Why? Actually, this tip must be the placeholder of that particular, because tip is by default empty there. So we have to get document dot get element by ID. What is the element by ID? The element is a txt mobile. It's a placeholder should come. Dot placeholder. It should display. Okay, that is what we need to do. You select and you entered 98765432110 and click on submit. It should display. We want to display in red color. Dot font color will keep as red. Right? In JavaScript, semicolons are not mandatory. They are optional. You don't need any semicolon, but it is recommended. When you minify, those semicolons are removed. Even you don't give semicolon, it doesn't matter. In minification, I told you. Right? So the point is, now you can see I select a country and I entered some wrong. Then it says invalid mobile. US mobile is this. So I will enter in that format +1. After that, some number. After that, space, 4 digits. After that, 4 digits. If it is correct, then click on submit. Then it will submit. Suppose I entered the country US. I entered some United States format. Suppose I entered so +1 like this, but it is UK. Then I entered +1 and I entered 3-digit number and 4 digits and 4 digits. That's not valid, because UK should start with +44, 3 digits, 4-4. Now it is fine. It is going to validate and change the patterns. When we write a pattern with HTML, always it will be same pattern, but here it will be changing. Pattern will be changing. That is one simple point. This is the example for how we can use the function called match. That is the match. As of now, these functions are enough. Some more functions will be there. But why we don't learn these immediately now? Because they need knowledge of arrays, loops, and conditions. When we learn arrays, loops, then we will learn. That means in interviews, So many questions are asked. They will ask that take a string, reverse the string, and print the reversed format. They will ask that take a string, verify whether the string is a palindrome or not. That means palindrome means in reverse order also it should spell same. That means they will ask that take a string, tell how many characters are repeating, right? Take a string, whether the character is there inside that string or not. All such are interview questions. But for that, you need to learn some program also. For loops, while, conditions, then we can achieve such examples. And we need to learn array also. Actually, split itself needs array. But I just given an overview to you. So some more string functions are there, which we will learn while learning about the statements. Then on that, I will give you some exercises. So how we can handle the strings and manage the strings. Okay. As of now, these are enough. This all comes under string manipulation. We discussed two types of functions. What are those? String formatting methods and string manipulation related methods. So two data types we learned. What are those data types? One is number, another one is string. Two data types. These are primitive types, right? So next important, after understanding the string, this how they work, string type. Next important is in the data types, we have a Boolean type. We have another important Boolean type. Generally, Boolean type, so usually Boolean. So Boolean is a type used for decision making. It is used for decision making in programming. In computer programming, decision making is done by using Booleans. See, because when you are attending interviews, these technical words are important. Sometimes you people know in a general way and try to explain. Interviews are not satisfied with your lengthy storytelling. Right? That is time waste also. They don't even listen. Right? You start explaining your ideas, giving your ideas. They don't consider that. That means even you know about it in a general way, you should know the technical word. Because that's what interview is. That means, so you are writing an exam. For that, there is an answer. And if there is an answer, what happens? They will write a test case for that answer. They will say that write the test on system. In that case, test case will be there. The answer is technical word. But your answer you explained in a paragraph. Your explanation is correct. But that is not matching with their answer inbuilt. Then your answer is wrong. What the system will do? System says that this is wrong. Right? Why? Because they use the technical word for verifying that. So if anybody asks, what is the purpose of Boolean data types? In computer programming, Boolean data types are used in decision making. So how decision making happens? It is managed by using two values. So one is true, another one is false. Decision making is managed by using two values, true and false. And generally, JavaScript Boolean true is referred with one and false with zero. False with zero. So you can store a Boolean and compare and compare with numeric 0 or 1. You can store a Boolean and compare with numeric 0 or 1, but you cannot store numeric and compare with Boolean. That will not work. For example, so Boolean is here syntactically where Boolean, so where suppose stock is equal to true. And I want to verify is it true or not. Then we need to write a condition. And when you write a condition, stock is equal to 1. That is valid. So this is okay. It is valid. Stock is equal to 1 because it is true is verified with 1. True is verified with 1. That means it is verified stock. It is verified with 1. It is going to verify with 1. So it's going to verify that. So this is okay. But this is not recommended. But many people do this. What is the good way is? The good way is if stock is equal to true. That is the good way. Because both will work. Both will work. But we prefer doing with true or false. But in many occasions, developers have an habit of referring with 0 and 1. That's okay. It will work 0, 1. So 0 is false and 1 is true. That is the reason in some interviews, they will give like true plus true is equal to how much? It will return 2. It will return 2. Not true or false, because they are treated as numeric on addition, right? Suppose if I write true plus a, how much? It is true a, because a is a string. Anything you do with a string is concatenation. Right? Anything you do with a string is concatenation, combining. So that is the reason. So you may know, you may think like you know the answer, but actually you are wrong. Right? Because those are not generally so simple. Lot of complexity will be there. Right? Generally in MNC level, so many. In MNC level, there will be so many. Usually in MNC level questions, what happens is they give a lot of complexity. One question, 4 answers, all 4 are correct. You have to choose the correct. Correct means all 4 are correct. Then what is correct? You have to choose first priority, second priority. Sometimes all are correct. Right? The problem solving will be very complex. Right? So I told you now, such problem solving you can try in some websites. They will show. Actually, so you see here. This is some websites I already showed you. Suppose you see just we saw here. This is HackerRank. This is a coding site. What companies will do is, generally companies, what they do is, suppose they want to conduct a interview for a front-end developer. Then what they do, they schedule a test here. And in the test, the questions will be there. Here itself, you can write programs also. Here itself, you can write programs. And it will verify and it will report them. That means nobody need to check is your program correct or wrong, because automatically inbuilt it is defined. And if you look at the questions here, this is not a free one, it's a paid service. So if so I just have this simple one. For example, I'm showing you here. This is one question. These are the questions we are having. And you can see the questions type, the test type, everything it will display here. Actually, what happens is when you write the test, when you configure the test here, so let's say, yeah, you see, create a test. So this is the role of some front-end developer. Front-end developer role, you see CSS, JavaScript questions will come. Companies, what they do is they prepare the questions, timings and everything they will give. And you see the questions will be in this way. They will give you the input format. They will give you the sample cases, how to write. And what you have to do, you have to read this and solve the problem. And they will give you 1 hour. One problem is enough for you. But they will give you 10 problems. Understood? And what is the point is when you write them, immediately the problem is solved. Means the problem solution, it will be report given to them. That is it correct or wrong? That's how generally companies are conducting interviews now. That means what they do, they create a test and give to the developers. Developer have to write. Complete proctoring will be there. You may be smart, but those people are more smarter than you. Right? That means you may Google on phone. Right? You may ask some friend. Right? And you may try to answer. But it captures your face also. That means you are moving your face left and right. You are holding a mobile. Everything is captured. Even it will not allow you to switch tabs. That means not go to next tab. And next tab, what you are typing also, they will monitor. That means after all, you are after all a technology learner. They are technology developers. They know better than you. And they can handle you easily. So the questions in companies will be very, very complex. But you know the answer. Questions are complex. Answers easy, you know. But you are confused in answer. That is where the problem you will face. So you need to understand the question. You need to know all consequences of that question. That means just like consequences means, suppose if a Boolean is added with a number, a Boolean is added with string, a Boolean is added with Boolean, what will be the result? All consequences you should know. That's what interview is. Suppose if I write like this now, true plus 10, how much? It will be 11. Suppose true divided by some 10, how much? So that is 10 divided by true, right? That is how much? 10. It will be defined like this. Suppose I defined, so 10 divided by false is equal to how much? False is 0. Can you divide anything by 0? Then how 0 will come? 10. It returns infinity. Right? That's all the point. That means various techniques you have to know. Why? Because in JavaScript, actually dividing by 0 is an error. But in JavaScript, it will not show error. It will show infinity. So those terms are important. Those terms are important, right? So suppose you defined, so true, that is true, and multiplied with a. What will return? True is 1. 1 multiplied with a. Can you multiply number with string? Then, so it returns not a number. It returns not a number. It says that it's not a number, how you will multiply. Multiplication can be done using number on. Right? That is where point. See, I told you so many scenarios, but you are unable to answer this. Right? That means I told you so many scenarios, but still you are unable to answer the correct because you don't know the consequence. That's what you have to know. Right? So, for example, suppose true minus A. How much? What is the purpose of minus? Subtraction. Subtraction means subtracting means minus. Then subtraction means what? Subtraction means finding the difference value. In schools you learn, na? Subtracting means what? Not in kindergarten. In kindergarten they will say take 5 fingers, subtract 3, then you will remove 3. That means you think that subtracting means removing. But subtracting is not removing. It is finding the difference between two numbers. Right? That means can you find difference between string and number? No. Then obviously it is not a number again. We can't find difference. We can concat. Plus will happen. We can't find the product. Product means multiplication. We can't divide. We can't find the difference. Subtraction means difference. Then it will return all these things. So Booleans will return a number, but so many consequences will be there. Right? You need to know all the consequences. So especially while working with Boolean, we need to know this. Okay. So Boolean will be true or false, but they can be compared with, I will show you here. They can be compared with 1 or 0. So boolean.html, and here we are defining a script. And in the script, so we have var stock is equal to true. If stock is equal to 1, I'm not using true. Document.write, I say available. Available. Else what we have to define is document.write out of stock. That's what we need to define. And this is out of stock. That is what? Available. If this is false, then it will say out of stock. But this is not good because this is not a correct way. Always use the word true or false. But it will work. But not recommended because numbers issues will come later. That means, for example, this is okay. This is working. But it is not recommended. Always use true or false words. For example, suppose I written like this. If stock is true, that means if stock is equal to 1, is it okay? That's okay currently. Suppose if I return stock is 1 and stock is equal to true, is it okay? It's not okay. Why? Because now stock is not Boolean. Stock is a number. Then how you will compare a number with a Boolean? That's not correct. These kind of issues will be there. So always use Boolean word, either true or false. And use Boolean word only for comparison. Just remember that in calculations, it will use numeric. Right? When you are trying to do subtract, you are trying to do multiplication. For example, subtract means again, suppose if I return, so true minus false, what it will return? 1 minus 0. So that is the point. That means here it's okay, it works, but anything with string is not possible. Number, it is possible. That means true minus true is equal to how much? 0. Right? Because it can find, now it can find because both are returning number. So that is the point. So always use this point. Okay. Next important you need to know is, so JavaScript, that means JavaScript uses Boolean type for handling decisions and Boolean attributes of HTML. What are HTML Boolean attributes? In HTML, which element is having the attributes that are Boolean? What are the attributes you learned in HTML are Boolean? What are the attributes you learned in HTML are Boolean? Suppose you learned ID, name, class, size, width, height, SRC. Like that. SRC is what type? SRC means it is a path. That means it is what type? String type, right? Width is number type, right? So like that, what are Boolean types properties you learned? What are the Boolean types properties? You learned so many, like read only, like disabled, like selected, like checked. This all comes under Boolean. We have like required. All these are Boolean. Actually, we are not using Boolean because they are by default true. That means suppose I written like this, input type is equal to text. I say read only. What does it means? Means read only is equal to true. But you don't need to write because by default they are true. By default they are true. That's the reason we don't need to write. Then if they are need to be changed from true to false, then dynamically we can change. Actually, you can write like this, read only true, like disabled as what? True, like required as what? True. But you don't need to write them. Means you don't need to write equal to true. Why? Because you write required, by default it is true. But later if I want to change, then we have to set it to false. Right? So similarly, we have so many Boolean. If you are using a checkbox, you know that input type is equal to checkbox. How do we know whether it is checked or not? Actually, we are using checked. Checked actually uses Boolean true or false. These are all Boolean types. JavaScript Booleans are used to control these. Dynamically, we can control that. For example, see, already here, we are defining a simple page here. So data list, data term, some user name. And data definition, input type is equal to text. ID is equal to name. This is username. And here we have a button. Button is some login. If username is not entered, that login should not work. That means now what we will do here. So here we will write on blur. On blur is verify name. Verify name. Okay. That is the function. We are writing the script here, and the function is verify name. We need to get first var username, document dot get element by ID username. Username is text box. We are just accessing the text box. You want to get the value. You can get the value. Now here we are writing a condition. If username is equal to empty, then we will get the button, var button, document get, query selector, what it is, button, because we haven't given any ID. If it is empty, then we have to add button dot disabled. Disabled is a Boolean. It is expecting true or false. It's a Boolean. That means now disabled equal to true. Otherwise, button dot disabled equal to false. Like this we can define. Now you are writing here. So that means you are defining. I click inside. Without entering any name, click outside, it is disabled. That means value spelling is wrong. Yeah. So now I click inside and without typing anything, click outside, then it is disabled. I clicked something and typed something and outside. Now it is okay. Without typing anything, you came out and it is disabled. This is what actually Boolean options are. That means we can know selected, we can know disabled, read only. All of them we will use in different examples. I just showed you disabled, right? So this is example how we can control the Boolean properties. Boolean properties are controlled by using true or false. Let's see one more option. In many requirements, they ask this very regularly. That means this is a very common requirement in websites. So that is creating toggles. Creating toggles is a very common requirement. In many interviews, they give this as a task for freshers also. But it is a very simple thing. Toggling is nothing but one button should work for two purposes. Suppose we have switches. All these switches are toggle. That means once one click, they will off. Again click, they will on. Right? That means for on and off, two switches are not there. We have only one switch which can do two. Then how it knows? Is it first time click or second time click? How it can handle on and off? Right? What is the logic behind this? How we can create these toggles? There are so many ways. I will show you different toggles here. See? So suppose I'm creating here a div and I will create here input type is equal to checkbox. So this is actually stock. Okay, that is the stock checkbox. And in the stock checkbox, better we'll put a data list in the term stock. And we have a input type is equal to checkbox. And here we are having a label ID as status. Okay, now what should happen is in this out of stock. Okay, what should happen in this design is when I select this, it should say available. And when I deselect, it should say out of stock. That means once check, it will show one message. Uncheck another message. That is toggling. That means check one message, uncheck another message. How you can change like that? That's simple actually. How do you create such toggle? Simple. For this checkbox ID is stock. And for checkbox, we can put another one is on change. On change is stock change. So we will write here a simple script. So function stock change. Here we have to get where stock checkbox. Document get element by ID. What is it? Stock. That is the stock checkbox. And we will get status document get element by ID status. Status is a label. Now here, what should be the label text? Actually, we can write lengthy, but these days people use a shorthand technique for that. See, status.inner HTML. That means what should be the status text. Status text depends on whether the checkbox is checked or not. That means we write a parenthesis condition. Condition is if stock checkbox dot checked is equal to true. Or you can simply write checked. Checked is by default true. If you want to compare with a Boolean, you have to write equal to true. If it is equal to true, stock checkbox checked is equal to true. Then what should happen? Question mark. Question mark indicates on true what should happen. What should happen? It should print available. String. Otherwise, what should happen? Colon. Colon is out of stock. That is how we write. This is shorthand way. Actually, it is equal to if condition, condition true, and condition false. That is written in this way. That means we write in this way. Here we write a condition and question mark on true and colon on false. Actually, this is called ternary operator. We call as ternary operator. This is equal to if condition and a statement on true and else statement on false. It is same to that. But in one line, you can handle that now. This is toggle. You can see now. I will select this. It says available. And I deselect this, then it says out of stock. That means you can choose and display according to the selection. This is toggling, how we can display and configure that. That's stock, how to manage. That is creating toggles, right? Another, this is one point. Suppose you see in, I will link here. Link relation is equal to style sheet and href is node modules, bootstrap icons, font, bootstrap icons dot css. And I kept here a button. So we are keeping a button here. Suppose, let's say another button here. Data term is suppose sorting, but sorting. And data definition, here we have a button, we have a span, class bi sort alpha down, that is. And this have an ID as sort icon. Okay, that is the sort icon. You can see it shows like this. Generally, when I click this button, it should turn to upside. Again, click the button, again down. You saw that we learned accordion. You saw accordion. In accordion, once click up arrow, again click down arrow, expand, collapse, changes. Button is only one. That means we don't put two buttons. One button should work. How it sorts, that I will tell later. That is in arrays you will learn. As of now, just we are changing the icons. How we can change icons? How you can change the icon? First, To understand that, first you should know how we got the icon. How we got that icon? By applying a bootstrap class. By applying a bootstrap icon class, we got that icon. That means you have to change the bootstrap icon class. To change the icon, you have to change the bootstrap icon class. For whom? For this sort icon, we have to change. So when on this button click, we have to change. That means we have to say on click. On click as sort toggle. I'll just give a sort toggle. And let's write a function here. So what is the function? Sort toggle. On sort toggle, I need to first get that icon. Sort icon, document, get element by ID. That is sort icon. Okay. Now, what is the condition of changing? That means its class should change. That means sort icon dot class name. We learned class binding. We can apply style. We can apply class. Class is applied class binding by using class name. Class name. What is the condition for changing the class name? Condition for changing the class name is when button is clicked, what is the existing class? What is the existing class for sort icon? Sort icon dot class name is equal to, what is the existing class? bi sort alpha down. That is the existing class, na? bi sort alpha down. So when user clicks this button, if the class is already sort alpha down, if it is true, then what should happen? Which class to apply? bi sort alpha up. This must be applied. Otherwise, it should apply the same old one. bi what sort alpha what down. That's it. That is toggling. That means I click on this button, it will change. It will change. Again, click on the button, it will change. Once click, it is sort ascending, sort descending. Of course, you can change the titles, messages, content. Content, I will show you. We will learn about arrays. While learning arrays, we will learn how to sort and how to display. Right? These are called toggles. And this completely Booleans. That means everything is decision making now. If the condition is true, then it will happen. If condition is false, another. Even for checked also. For example, here one more point is how we can use the checked option is. Checked already I showed there. So suppose you see, suppose I want to show and hide. What show and hide is, let's say this is having another button, data term. So here we say button, that is show and hide. That is the button. We are having the button show hide. Or we will just keep the button that is initially show and ID as btn toggle. Btn toggle is the button. Now below that, we have a data definition image. Image source is, suppose we have public, so images. So, and we have some image, A1, A2. Some width is 200 and height is 200. Like this we define. Now what should happen? This button should toggle. On click, it should hide. Right? By default, what we will do is ID is preview and the style. How to hide? Display. Display is what? None. It is hidden. Preview is hidden. When I click on show, it should display. Again, that show should turn to hide, right? That means how do we manage that? We will write a function show toggle, show toggle, show toggle. And what is that? On click. On click. So that is show toggle. Okay. What we have to display here? So get where, that is the icon. Image is the preview na. Document dot. Yeah. So preview is okay. So document dot get element by ID preview. Okay. Next what? That preview is by default hidden. We want to keep it show or hide. Then we write like this: preview dot style dot display is equal to, that depends on already what it is. What it is, if preview dot style dot what? Display is equal to, already if it is equal to show, then it should turn to hide. Otherwise it should be show. Then we need that string, display, if it is a show, not show. If display is already none, then it should set to what? Now, this is for image, not for button. For button, we will give show and hide. For image, if display is none, we have to set it as block. Otherwise, we have to set it as none. For button, we have to change. What is it? Document dot query selector. What is the button? So all ID is there now already. So we will put here where. So btn toggle document get element by ID btn what? Toggle. And we will write the condition. What is the condition? So btn toggle dot inner HTML. It is if btn toggle dot inner HTML is already show, then it will display as hide. Otherwise it will display as show. That is the toggling. And you click on this button, then it will display that and hide. I click on hide, then it will display. You are changing these icons and configuring. These kind of multiple combination of functionalities are very common, right? In many interviews, they give more complex things. More complex things means you must even be able to change the elements. For example, they will give you like this. That means they will say that edit details. And here they give, suppose they given a simple text box. Actually, generally what they give here is, they given some John, that is the name. They given some 22, that is some age. Now what they will ask is, they will say that this is a label in a table. In a table, it is a cell. But when user clicks inside that cell, it should change it to text box. Because user should edit. Na? So normally it should display label. But when user clicks inside, not click, sometimes we ask double click. You double click inside, then it will open edit mode. Edit mode means it will change label to text box. Again, you click outside, then again text box to label. How you can do that? So for that, again, similar type of logic we need to write. I will show you how we can make such editings, right? But these are all based on what is the data type Boolean. Because everything is decision making, true or false conditions. And for conditions, we are not using if. For conditions, what we are using, we are not using if, we are using simply ternary operator, which will verify and return the options, right? This is Boolean type. Next, we have two other, that is null type, and another one is undefined. That we'll see tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, don't miss, because these two are simple, but tomorrow we are going to learn very important arrays, objects, which are very major in JavaScript. Everywhere in future, we have to work with data means arrays. That we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay, right.